What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability.
The problems of illegal immigration spanning Ireland and the UK have become increasingly urgent and a source of public concern. Amidst the increasing flow of migrants into both countries, the situation seems to be spiraling out of control and many local communities are being affected. Famous Irish fighter Conor McGregor has also been in the spotlight, as he decided not to remain silent and brought the issue to the attention of world leaders by speaking at the White House during a meeting with Donald Trump. His statement was a resounding challenge to a political system that ignores pressing issues on the ground. McGregor, as a true patriot, could not stay away from what is happening in his native Ireland. He emphasized the fact that his government continues to turn a blind eye to illegal immigration, which leads to the destruction of rural areas. For many of these locals, the situation is becoming increasingly desperate. Social problems are worsening and traditional values are being erased. McGregor's speech sent a message to the world. Unless the Irish start fighting for their future, their homeland will soon be nothing but a memory.
Today I'm announcing a new deal, which allows Ukraine to use £1.6 billion of UK export finance to buy more than 5,000 air defence missiles, which will be made in Belfast, creating jobs in our brilliant defence sector. This will be vital for protecting critical infrastructure now and strengthen Ukraine in securing the peace when it comes.
Conor McGregor could not ignore the inaction of the Irish government, which in his opinion prioritizes external problems, ignoring the critical situation inside the country. In his speech, he sharply condemned the decision of the authorities to spend huge sums on foreign issues, forgetting about the basic needs of its citizens. Unlike those who shirk responsibility, McGregor dared to raise his voice for those who have suffered years of neglect by their government. He emphasized that Irish people living across the ocean, particularly the 40 million Irish in America, need to be made aware of what is happening back home. These people, McGregor said, cannot remain indifferent as they see their land drowning in problems that plague local communities. The view of the country's problems must be comprehensive and the solution must be immediate. McGregor said that every Irish person, wherever they live, should feel a sense of ownership of the processes taking place in their native Ireland. He called on the government to take responsibility for its actions and not shy away from important domestic reforms that could restore the country's lost values and stability.
I'm here to raise the issues that people of Ireland face, and it'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. Our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. Our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because
where Conor McGregor has always felt a strong connection to Ireland, and his criticism of the government was not just a political stance, it was a personal call to action. He stated that he felt a deep sense of responsibility for the fate of his country and people. McGregor, beyond his athletic accomplishments, was always willing to advocate for justice and change, even if it required him to make difficult decisions. His words at the White House were not only an appeal to authority, but also the inner cry of a man who cannot stand by when his homeland is on the brink. He demanded that the government not only admit its mistakes, but also take real steps to correct them. McGregor believes that the government must not only listen but also act in the best interests of its citizens, rather than hiding its head in the sand in the face of difficult issues. He called for every Irish person, wherever they are, to take pride in holding the government to account rather than continuing to turn a blind eye to the problems at hand. McGregor showed that politics should be everyone's business, and that together they can change the fate of their country. Conor McGregor could not remain indifferent to how mass immigration is destroying the rural areas of Ireland. In his speech, he vehemently criticized the policies of the government, which he said ignores the local problems associated with the flow of illegal immigrants. McGregor pointed out that Irish people living in rural areas are left in an extremely vulnerable position when local resources are depleted and state aid goes to support illegal immigrants. He emphasized that these very communities, which have shaped the country's culture and traditions for centuries, now face a real threat to their stability. Illegal immigrants, according to McGregor, receive welfare benefits while natives are left without support. Such injustice, according to the fighter, only deepens social divisions and creates resentment among the local population. In McGregor's eyes, this is not just an immigration issue, but a challenge to the very existence of local communities who feel forgotten and left behind. He called for decisive action to bring back equality and justice for everyone in Ireland, protecting the interests of those who really need support, not just those who find themselves in the country illegally.
If not, there will be no place to come home and visit. Ireland is at the cusp of, potentially losing its Irishness. And I'm here to raise the issue and highlight it. It's also St. Patrick's Day, so a little bit of celebrations for sure. And, a little bit of learning and listening to Mr. President Trump, whose work ethic is inspiring. And all that does to me is highlight the lack of work on my side. So that's it. That's what I'm here for.
Awesome. Thank you, Father.
Thank you, guys. All right, God bless.
Bye, guys. We'll see you later.
Conor McGregor did not hesitate to draw parallels between Ireland and the UK, criticizing immigration policies in both countries. He noted that against the backdrop of increased migration flows, locals in both nations feel forgotten and ignored. McGregor pointed out that British citizens, like the Irish, are facing growing problems related to deteriorating quality of life, social instability and insufficient support from the government. The fighter emphasized that both countries must look at the needs of their permanent residents rather than continuing to support policies that make life difficult for local communities. In his opinion, governments have a responsibility to rethink their priorities and put the interests of their citizens at the center of attention. McGregor believes that local people in Ireland and the UK should not feel victimized by unreasonable policies that, instead of improving living conditions, only exacerbate existing problems. He called for necessary reforms and attention to domestic issues so that local communities can feel secure and confident in their future. McGregor believes that it is only through policy change that the real well-being of citizens in both countries can be realized.
Not everyone appreciated the Irishman's comments, though. Ireland's Prime Minister writing, St. Paddy's Day around the world is a day rooted in community, humanity, friendship and fellowship. Conor McGregor's remarks are wrong and do not reflect the spirit of St. Patrick's Day or the views of the people of Ireland.
Conor McGregor did not limit himself to immigration issues. He also expressed serious concerns about the threat to free speech in the UK. In his speech, he sharply criticised politicians, including Labour Party leader Keir Starmer, for distorting important public issues and suppressing free voices. McGregor said that despite all the assurances of politicians, freedom of speech in the country is under threat, and many citizens feel that their opinions are being ignored. He emphasized that everyone should be able to express their opinions without fear of reprisal or censorship. Using his platform, McGregor attempted to draw attention to this pressing issue by stating that the political elite manipulates issues of freedom and democracy in their favor. He noted that the voices of ordinary citizens often go unheeded despite politicians' promises to protect rights and freedoms. McGregor called on all those who value freedom of speech to oppose this trend and defend the right to free expression. He assures that only the fight for truth and openness can bring back to Great Britain the very freedom that has been so much talked about, but which is now under threat.